Hey guys, this is Patrick Hoover again with Scent Control Outdoors. This is one video you do not want to miss. Have you been struggling to hold and find big mature bucks, to grow them on your farm, to hold them on your farm, and then 2 or 3 miles down the road, you hear about these guys killing these big bucks? But there's a reason for that. And I'm going to show you the key points and things that you need to do and address on your farm, or the land you're hunting, or the lease you've got, to hold and grow these mature deer. I'm going to show you guys things I've done in the years, and I've helped many people. I've traveled and did a lot of seminars and taught for a lot of people over the years how to do land management, how to manage and hold big deer. And they've reached back out to me over the years and said, hey man, it's worked, it's been amazing. Because for a living, I plant stuff for a living. I've been doing that for 20 some years, almost 30 years. So I live outdoors and work outdoors all the time. So, but hey, I'm gonna walk you guys through it all. Now, you can see here behind me, you can see there's a buck rub right behind me actually. This here, I had this selectively cut about 8 years ago. So I had it timbered and I had it selectively cut. Now there's certain areas and certain species that you want to do this to on your farm to hold these big deer. Sorry about the wind. So you want to leave a lot of your white oaks, and your pin oaks, red oaks, all of them. Your oaks are good, but your big mature trees, you could do an 18-inch or a 20-inch cut and above. I'm doing timbering, which we'll discuss that a little bit more. And then you want to get rid of all your invasive species, like beech trees, stuff like that, that only produces mass every 3 to 13 years. And beech are almost like bamboo. They can sprout off their own roots and create more beech trees, and before you know it, you got parts of your farm, which I'm going to show you in a minute, that's happened here on this land, that's all beech trees, and there's no cover for the deer. Deer have to have browse. They have to have undergrowth and browse. They can reach and eat the end of the buds off the limbs and the tender parts. They like green briars, anything they can get to, any kind of browse that's in here, the brush that people call it. There's so many benefits to that. They have to have that, and that's what they're drawn to. So if you don't have this stuff, you're not going to hold a big deer. That's why it's so important to do a selectively cut on certain parts of your land, or know where to go hunt when you're scouting new farms or scouting leases, or you might be looking at. That's why it's so important what to look for. You can see behind me here, nothing but white oaks. Nothing but a bunch of white oaks, which is what you want. But the only thing I would change about this is you can see behind me it's getting really open. There's not much cover, there's not a lot of browse. So what you want to do is come through and take the big oaks out and get some sunlight to the floor here. That way you can grow some underbrush. That way they got plenty of browse, they got plenty of food. That's the key. You don't want too open, but at the same time, that's the #1 sought after acorn of all the acorn trees around here, is the white oaks. They love them. So when they start dropping, you better be hunting near them, because I'm telling you what, I've killed more big mature deer early bow season than ever hunting on white oak flats. Especially if you've got a little brush in here, a little bit of cover, or a bunch of thickets nearby. It's perfect, because they'll come through here and feed in this big time. Now I'm gonna go show you some other things, some other key points that you gotta have to hold these big deer. Water. One of the most overlooked things when people is managing farms and trying to, grow these big deer and hold these big deer. Yes, you got to have brush, you got to have browse, you got to have food, you got to have food plots. All that stuff is great, but if you don't have water, they will move, especially if you've had a drought. Because when the creeks dry up like this year, there's no water. So whoever had the old farm ponds, they had a deer. Those farms, they usually had big deer on them, and they had creeks on them. All the creeks is bone dry. They wasn't a teaspoon of water in them. And my bucks I had on camera, 2 miles up the road, people had pictures of them, because they had old farm ponds. So water's big key. I don't know if you can see here, I got an underground spring coming out of the ground right there. That's why I built a pond here. You want as clean water as possible, which everyone probably knows that, but if you got a spring, you definitely put a pond below it. I mean, there's so many perks to that. One, you're gonna have healthier deer, less chance of them dying of DHD, getting a disease, and then 2, you stock full of fish and got a good place to fish. So, and you could drink that. It's as clean as it gets. So you can see here another pond I'd built, just because the other pond covered a certain area of my farm, and I knew that the other side of the farm needed water as well. That way I can hold the deer on that side as well. They don't have to go to the neighbor to get water. So that's, like I said, it's so important. You want food, cover, and water. You got to have all 3. So there's more water. Food plots. This is one thing you definitely want. If you got room to put one in, put one in. There's so many benefits to a food plot. Early season, I've killed a lot of big deer on food plots. 2, the deer need that nutrition. They need the food, especially for the harsh winter and the rut coming up. In early season, like I said, you'll benefit from it. Then late season, the deer will really benefit from it, especially if you know what to plant. Late season, you definitely want some turnips and radishes and stuff like that. They'll dig up and they'll eat them even now in February. That's why I'm doing this video here in February, to show you that you can see the terrain better too as well. But food plots are huge. You can plant spring food plots after your, like I said, I plant brassicas, radishes, turnips, kale, chicory, a bunch of random stuff I put in my food plots. But when that starts dying off, you want to come in and frost seed clover. And what that does, come spring, the clover covers your food plots. Now they got that clover to feed on all spring throughout the summer, which puts nitrogen back in your soil. And we can talk, I can teach y'all more about that too as well. Which then when you go plant your fall food plots, you already got the extra nitrogen in your soil. So there's a lot of things I could teach you. Now, I'm gonna go show you some other things that you wanna have to hold and grow big deer. Let's go. Another thing I would recommend is bees. Not only you get some really good honey from the bees, but man, hey, if you're planting an orchard or apple trees, peach trees, whatever you may be planting for the deer or yourself they're the best pollinator out there. And if you're planting clover fields and food plots and everything else, or you got a garden, you want some bees. I mean, they're really, really, really smart to have. But we can go over that in another video. But you see it's warm out today. I've been hiking in here to do these clips for you, make these video clips, and they're all over the place going in their hive. So this is what you don't want. You don't want a bunch of beech trees. I could see 200 or 300 yards that way just because it's wide open. Beech trees are almost like bamboo and invasive weeds. It's one of the trees that actually, one of the only trees that the roots come out and they sprout new trees off the roots itself. There's other trees that do that, but where I'm from here, it's mostly beech trees. And they only produce mass, you probably heard me talk before about it, every 3 to 13 years. And you can see the sunlight never gets to the ground, so there's no browse, there's no underbrush, so the deer do not feel safe being in here. So you definitely want to get rid of your beech, especially when you got a lot of beech. I mean, there's companies that will come and take them and they'll pay you for them. So you can get it timbered and get rid of them. If you're watching this video right now and you're like, man, I'd love to be able to do all that stuff, but I just don't have time. Well, I got an answer for that. Well, that's what I do. I'll come to you, I'll walk your ground with you, I'll walk your farm, and I'll be like, hey, I'll show you where you need to selectively timber at, what you need to cut, where to put your food plots, where to put your water source, what to plant, where to hang your stands. We even hang the stands. I do it all. So if you're interested in something like that, just coming out and doing this for you, please reach out to me. You can message me through Messenger on Facebook under Patrick Hoover Facebook, or Instagram, Scent Control Outdoors. You can message me and let me know, and we'll come to you. We will travel. I thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share my videos, and I'll make some more. And if you need help, reach out to me.